Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry I've been absent for so long. Life just gets busy. If you hear barking in the background, that's just my dog acting full. So today, I posted a sneak preview of the palette I'm going to use today. It's the Morphe palette. It is the 35F Fall into Frost. And we're just going to be doing a really simple eye look today. This is what the palette looks like. It's got a couple mattes and more shimmery palettes or shadows than it does mattes. So it looks like just the bottom row is matte, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 rows has they're just all shimmer. Okay, so like I said, we're just gonna be doing an easy eye tutorial today. Nothing crazy. So I'm just gonna prime my lid with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. Looks like this. Okay, and I'm just gonna use my finger and just put that everywhere, even on my brow. I'm gonna pat that on. I hope you guys are having a safe and fun time in quarantine as much as you can. I know the bans are starting to lift, and some people can start going outside and go to beaches, and stores are starting to open up and stuff. Just remember to wear your mask and be safe. Remember to stay apart from people. Okay, and I'm just gonna let that dry for a couple seconds. And as always, I am not prepared for anything. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my Wonder Brow in, it says Auburn, but it's you guys can't really see that, but it's my Wonder Brow, and it says Auburn, but it's not Auburn. That's like a dark chocolate brown. And I'm just gonna put it on here. So I've been really into reading lately, like right before bed. And I've been reading Flowers in the Attic. It's a really, really good book. It's just about these children who loses their dad, and the mom has to go back to, has to ask her mom if she can come back to live with her. And there was some kind of falling out with her and her parents. We don't find out till later in the book. There was a falling out in her parents, and so she had to basically beg to come back. And they said that she could come back as long as she did whatever they wanted. So she comes back. She has nowhere to go. And the grandma puts the kids in the attic. And it's like, you guys need to stay in this attic place because my husband doesn't know you guys exist, and only agreed for her to stay if you guys stayed in the attic, or only agreed for the mother to stay because he doesn't know about the kids. And so the kids are staying in the attic, and come to find out, the reason why the mother and father kicked her out was because she married her step uncle. So the religious grandmother, really religious grandmother, and grandfather thought it was a really big sin, and was like, well, so I'm dipping into, where did I put the thing? I'm dipping into this one. Yep. And I'm just going to blend that all over my lid. And so the mom keeps telling the children, oh, as soon as your grandfather passes, I'm going to come get you. We're going to inherit all his money, and we're going to just be a big, happy family. And the kids, of course, are not wanting to stay in the attic. They want to, they're locked up in the attic, and they keep telling her every time she comes, Mom, we don't want to stay here. We don't want to stay here. We can just, be a happy family somewhere else. We don't need the money. And Mom's like, no, you don't know how hard it is without money. Everything in this world revolves around money. And so as time passes, the kids are starting to get used to the attic, and the mom tells them, why she got kicked out in the first place, and why the grandmother hates them, because every time the grandmother comes in, she's always, I'm watching you, God's watching you. And just really horrible and mean to these poor little kids. And there's Christopher, who's the oldest. He's like 16, 17. And then there's the youngest, who are a girl and a boy, and they're twins. They're like 5. And then the oldest girl, she is like 12. So they're living in this attic. And so I'm just going to go in with this one. And I'm going in with my C412 Deluxe Pointed Crease in Crown Brush. So I just got a little bit of that, and I'm going to put it right at the edge right here. Pack that on just a little bit. And so the mother starts coming less and less. So all the while she's bringing gifts to like bribe her kids to stop complaining and, be obedient. And she's just coming less and less. So sometimes she won't even come for the entire month. So we're seeing less and less of her. And the grandmother is basically torturing these kids in the attic. And so I'm just going to dip a little more into that color. And I'm just really trying to focus it on the outer corner here. And so as time passes, you can tell the mother is getting more and more impatient with the kids and the kids with her. They're starting to resent their mother and not even know who she is. And the oldest brother and sister are starting to get real comfortable with each other now and starting to tell each other secrets and basically act like mom and dad. Because now these the twins are constantly, at first they're like, this is my brother and sister, we want mom. But now, with everything that's going on, they're just like, oh, my older brother and sister, they're our parents. We don't need anybody else. These are our parents. So now I'm taking my Ipsy T5 Precise Blending. And I'm just going to go in with the matte reddish color. And I'm just going to take that a little bit above where all the other colors are, just to blend that out just a little bit. And so, they're starting to, the oldest brother and sister are starting now to get in that age where they're noticing their bodies and I'm starting to come to realize, oh, my little sister, she's a blossoming woman now. And the sister's like, oh, well, he's starting to get muscles and become this man. They don't know any better because they've been locked up in this attic. And so, like, they're just growing up in this attic. And then slowly, the two youngest kids, start getting really sick. And the oldest boy, Christopher, he wants to become a doctor. So anytime his mom asks, oh, well, what do you want in the attic to keep you guys busy and keep you guys quiet in this attic? And they're like, oh, well, just bring me all the medical books that you can bring me so I can study. And so when I come out of this attic, I'll become a doctor. And so with all the books that he has, he studies to become a doctor. And so he realizes, oh, my youngest little brother, he's really sick. He needs an actual doctor. He's vomiting, he's going unconscious, things like that. And he's like, okay, we really need help. So they're like, if you don't take our little brother to go get help right now, we're all gonna leave. We're all gonna go downstairs, break out of this room, and go downstairs and confront our grandfather. And so, like, they're like, okay, we'll go take the little boy to the doctor. And when they come back, they tell the siblings, oh, your brother died. He had pneumonia, and he died. And of course, they're all sad and heartbroken, And so the twin sister, she's like, okay, well, let me take care of the pet. Let me take care of my little brother's pet so I can keep, connected to him. And so the youngest sister would give the little brother's portion of the food, since he's not there no more to their pet rat. And the next day, the rat's dead, like hard dead, from eating this powdered sugar of this donut. And they come to realize they've been poisoned, that their mother or their grandmother has been giving them poisoned food, that the little brother did not die of pneumonia, or maybe he did, but it was caused by eating these poisoned donuts. Let's see. I think I want to go with something. We got a nice little soft look right now. I don't want to go too crazy. So I think we're going to put this one on the lid. I think I'm going to blend that in with the lightest shade just a little bit. I'm going to put that on the lid. And then blend it out. Okay, so they realize we now have to come up with a plan and leave this place before, whoever kills us next. They're thinking it's the grandmother. It has to be the grandmother, because she's mean to us. She's locked us away from our mother, and she's always hated us. So it has to be the grandmother. Our mother would never do this to us. What kind of mother would poison her own children for billions of dollars of money? So Christopher, the oldest, decides he's going to go out and sneak out of the room and find an escape way for them so they all can escape. And when he comes back, he's just in tears, sobbing. And the older sister's like, well, what happened? Why are you crying? You were supposed to find us a way out. And he said, he's gone. I'm like, who's gone? The grandfather died and has been dead for a while. And still the mother and the grandmother had kept them in the attic, trying to kill them off. And so they sneak out. They take all whatever money that they could find and gather up all the clothes that they had and just everything, and just snuck out of the house. And that's the end of the first book. Then there's another book of the same. I think it's like 12-book series, but it's really, really interesting and like really so sad that what these kids had to go through, and it just makes you realize like how lucky a person is, just being able to do the things we do and being able to just walk around in all of our house, And here's the paper. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in this inner corner here. I think I'm going to go in with Starlight. Which is, this color right here. It's like a light champagne gold kind of color. It's really pretty. And I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner of my eye. That's so pretty. You guys see that? Very, very pretty. Okay. So now I'm just going to take, I think it's called sand. Oh, it's called terrine, which is that dark brown that we put on the outer quarter right here. And I'm just going to pop that on the lower lash line. Try not to poke yourself in the eye. So the second book is just them. It takes place right after the kids have escaped the house. And they're on this train. No, bus. They're on this bus to, I think they said Florida, to start their new lives. And they're just going to go off with being a family. They're no longer brother and sister. That's mom and dad and their child now. Because that's the only way that's going to work. And at first they're like, oh, we should go to the police and we should have all the money taken away from them. Because that's all they wanted was the money. So we should get our revenge. And then they realize, well, we can't do that because if we go to the police, yeah, all the money will get taken away, but will also get taken away and put in different orphanages. And especially since Christopher, the oldest, is now turning 18, he'll no longer be able to be in the system. So they decide that instead of going to the police, that they're just gonna forget everything that's happened and just try to live their lives. Okay, now I'm getting the TARDIS. It has a pencil on one side, and it has liquid on the other. So first I'm going to go take the pencil. I'm going to go in the inner corner with the pencil. So the second book is just them trying to escape. And so they're on the bus and they realize the youngest sister is getting sicker and sicker and sicker until she's no longer conscious. And they're like, oh, well, we need help right now. We need to go to a doctor. We need to go to hospital. Like, we need medical attention right now. And so there's this deaf lady on the bus, and she's like, well, my son is a doctor. Come with me and, you guys will be safe and, don't worry about paying him back. This child needs help right now. So they decide to go with her, and the doctor starts treating you know, this little sister. And he's like, well, starts asking questions. Where are you guys? Where are you guys going? Who is this? Is this your little sister? Is she your daughter? You know, because you gotta remember that while Chris just turned 18, the oldest sister, she's barely 14, 15, you know? So she still looks really young. And then, of course, the youngest sibling, who's 8 now, they went into the house when she was like 3, maybe 4. And now she's an 8-year-old who looks like a 4-year-old. So now he's asking all these kinds of questions, and so like they just break down and tell him the truth. And so he's thinking about it. He's like, okay, I recently just lost my wife and my son too. This is a great opportunity to, have another family. And he's like, okay, well, how about if I adopt you? And so they decide, this guy is a really nice guy. And he wants to take care of us, and we need stability right now. And so they decide, oh, well, we can't promise you that we're going to stay, but we'll stay for a while and see how it works out. Mind you, that the 2 oldest siblings have been acting like mom and dad. And what I mean by acting like mom and dad, not just the little sister says, this is my mom and dad. They've been, doing adult situations like mom and dad. So when they get into this guy's house, they're like, well, how do we just go from being mom and dad back to siblings? Because, the oldest brother is now in love with his sister. And I don't think we're going to need our bottom brush. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Ciet London Triple Shot XXL mascara. This is black. Okay, wand looks like this. My dog is just outside barking his head off, being a little brat. Anyways, so it's just about now they're having to grow up with this doctor who took them in and learn how to be brother and sister again. And Chris is going now off to college and leaving his 2 sisters behind with the doctor. The oldest daughter starts developing feelings for the doctor and just trying to seduce the doctor. And the doctor resists. He's like, no, you're my daughter. This isn't going to happen. You need to date boys your age. I don't know what happened between you and, your brother, but you and I, we're not going to happen. You're my daughter. And so she's thinking, okay, well, I need to come up with a new plan to get the doctor. And so she's taking ballet classes to keep busy. And so they're starting to live this new life. And one day she goes shopping. And who does she spot? The mother. The mother has remarried. And is shopping. And so the daughter kind of follows the mother throughout these shops.